Hey everyone! I hope you had an amazing week and I can't wait to put this video up for you because I have prepared for you 5 mind-blowing facts that every small business owner needs to know. Roll the intro and then we'll come back to the video. Hey, so now that we're back here, before we start this, I just want to show I'm super grateful for doing this every single week, and I truly enjoy it. I started this YouTube channel mainly as a way of teaching other entrepreneurs what I've been through, like helping them out, and obviously getting some traction for my own business, right? Because the more people they know me, the more contracts I'll get. So it's pretty obvious, like contact means contracts. And that's the rule, like everyone knows that, right? Sorry for that. So the cool thing about it is in the first few weeks I've pushed myself. I said, hey, I have to do this because it's on my calendar. No matter if I like it or not, it's there and I have to do it, right? But then just putting these videos together and seeing some of the comments and then seeing some of the people who messaged me telling me, hey, that video helped me so much. I was like, oh, I love this so much right now. I'm pumped every single week for creating a new video. So I would love to see in the comments down below, what videos would you like to see next? And I'll try to create as many videos as possible around those topics. But let's begin with today's topic. And in today's episode or video, because I'm trying to do this like as if you were watching a marketing course, right? So I wanted to feel that way because I want to teach you as much stuff for free as possible. But at the same time, it feels like a podcast, a storytelling time, because on this show that I'm creating here on YouTube, I want to tell my stories as well. So I've titled this 5 mind-blowing facts. And they are mind-blowing not for the fact that, hey, this I've never heard this before, this is a game changer. It will change my entire business. This will change the entire business industry. It's not really like that. They're mind-blowing because they're so simple yet so effective and almost no business owner that I've worked with has all of this 5 in place, right? So what is it that I'm talking about? We are going to talk about growing slow, customer experience, uniqueness, over delivering, and the fact that ads are super cheap nowadays. And I'll show you when we get there how you can run ads for cheap. I've experienced all of these 5 steps in my life and in my business, and now it's time to get back, right? So let's start with it's okay to grow slow. Oh, and do not expand like a fancy PowerPoint or something. This is like all you'll see. Like honestly, this screens with some text in there, and I'll just talk, right? Okay, so what's this all about? Because if you look on forums, if you look on is that a thing anymore? Actually, I think it is like Reddit or something. But Facebook groups, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere you look, people tell, hey, you have to have investors, you have to have venture capital, you have to build a next Netflix in 90 days, or you have the Undercover Billionaire show. Like the premise of that show is to build $1 million business in 90 days. I don't want to break it to you. That's not gonna happen. I mean, I don't want to be sound like your mom, like when you were going to business or something, and they told you, hey, that's not fair. Just go get a real job, right? So I don't want to sound like that. It's more like if you grow super fast, right, and you don't know what you're doing, because the undercover biller, they're obviously they know what they're doing. But if you're kind of new to this business game and if you grow too fast, you risk cutting down on customer experience, on customer service. You also sometimes lose the product quality, and that's not okay. That's the perfect recipe for disaster, and it will all come tornadoing back to you. So growing slow means having a steady pace, obviously an upward trend. You don't want to go downward, uh, but steady. You don't want that super steep shooting to the moon curve, because if that happens, there are only two things in the world that happen. Like you, you're like super good at this, so you're not watching this video probably, because you're like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or something like that, someone like that, or you got lucky, but brace yourself, because there will be a lot of customer complaints. There will be a lot of overhead to take care of, and it's totally normal. I can tell you a story here. This is so when I started in business, like in marketing business, because I had some businesses before. But when I started in marketing, I tried to, after I learned how to run profitable ads, I tried to do all these things, right? I tried to hire a team so I can have like a small business owners package. Then I tried to hire another team so they can sell on the phone a totally different package, like more high end, targeted towards medium businesses. And then I was trying to get myself into the coaching area for big businesses. I had the background for all of them. I had testimonials, I had results, so it wasn't hard for me. But I tried to grow that fast that eventually I caught up in this bubble of a lot of customer complaints, especially on the low tier end of our programs, and that's never a good idea, because that can lead to a low rating on the Federal Business Bureau. That can lead to low customer reviews everywhere online. So I would say do not make the same mistake. Just try to create an upward trend, but slowly. Don't rush into it, right? And this takes me like to the next point, which is customer experience and experience. Sorry, service and experience. This can be, I mean, this is your advantage as a small business compared to big corporations out there. Like, I mean, Apple does a great job, don't get me wrong, but Apple does, I mean, an Apple employee doesn't really know your name unless you're there on a daily basis, right? But in your coffee shop, or I just keep bringing coffee shop because that was one of my past businesses and it failed because I didn't know this back then. You can definitely focus on creating an amazing customer experience. And what I mean by that, like everything inside your shop should be aligned with your customer avatar. Uh, let's say your avatar is, you have a coffee shop like somewhere near Wall Street. Your avatar is like the usual trader, looking good, like going to his trading job at probably 10 a.m. in the morning or 9 a.m. or whatever. He has a super busy day, and he loves taking his coffee like on his way to job because he's always on the rush. But if you try to understand why is he or she always on the rush to get to the office, it's because he wants to check the news, he wants to check how stock's been doing, he wants to check all that, right? If you could bring into your coffee shop some free newspapers for them to check, you can put some TVs up that showcase the latest stock news or trends or whatever. So you can provide them with this experience, like in coffee shop experience. They will most probably stay longer and spend more money while there. So this all ties back into customer service because you're servicing them really well. You're creating them an experience, but at the same time you're making more money out of it because you created this ecosystem. And this kind of again leads me to the next point. Honestly, I did not make this presentation like this. I didn't even think about leading one point to another. I was just like, it just happened. And this next point is try to have a unique selling proposition or a unique selling point, whatever you want to call it. The thing is, you want something that's unique. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be super expensive. You don't have to bring Jay-Z to have a show at your coffee shop every now and then. I mean, if you're best buds with Jay-Z, you could definitely do that. But except for that, try to see something that's going to be unique for your specific coffee shop. Like in the Wall Street example, the uniqueness about your coffee shop would be like the trader's coffee shop, or it would be the stockbroker coffee shop, or the third home for stock traders. Okay, whatever it is, try to have this uniqueness about it, and you can also find something that's less expensive to create. I was like this one time at this guy's, like they had to wrap my car, right? So I went in their shop. They told me all about their car wrapping and stuff like that. And they also had like this detailing part, like car detailing part for their business. And they told me like, hey, so what we're doing here is that every single time a customer comes in and wants his car wrapped, we know that he cares about his car that much that we want to give them three detailing, a voucher for three detailing. How do you even call them? Just to go three times to detail your car there, right? Over the course of a year. And I was like, yeah, I mean, they know me like so good. Like, I do care about my car, and I do care about having this car cleaned up, looking good, all wrapped up. And they knew this about me. And it's not hard because they know their avatar. Most probably, and this is, you should take a note of this, most probably you have been your avatar before you know it. Like, you had a problem, you found a solution, and now you are helping others with this solution. And this means that you've been there. And in a way, this leads me to my next point. Well, this is weird. I did not plan this at all, guys. Trust me. So this wasn't meant to be here. This wasn't in my original YouTube video. I only wanted to do 3 steps. I wanted to skip these 2 last steps, but then I say, hey, not everyone knows that advertising is cheap, so I'll just put it there at number 5. And at number 4, I was like, hey, I mean, I think everyone knows at this point that you have to over deliver, right? You do not under deliver for your client. And then I started to realize that most of the clients that I work with in coaching, or even if for done for you stuff for our agency, they miss this part so much. Like, they deliver exactly what they said they will, but they rarely go over the top for it. And I'll go back here a step and tell you about my story. When I started marketing and in online business stuff, I went from this coffee shop, right? So I didn't know much about it, about the online world. I just try to make a living here. So one concept that I took from the coffee shop slash juice shop was that whenever a customer walked into the shop, I was trying to make him or her feel at home. If he wanted a coffee, I was also giving him or her a biscuit, stuff like that. I was always over delivering, right? So I said to myself, well, first of all, I need some testimonials, so I have to work for free or for super cheap for a short period of time because until I gather those testimonials, right? And because then I have social proof and I can go and ask for a lot more money. So I did that. But the fact that it was for pennies, or like I was building websites for $200 back in the day, and I'm not kidding. Like everyone was asking for at least the grand. I was asking 10 times less, and people would think I was a scam because obviously it was like so cheap. But what I was doing is I was always saying, hey, give me the specs of the website. I'll build it for you in, and I was just giving them a time frame, probably usually a week or two. I was usually giving them 2 weeks, you know. So I was giving them like 2 weeks until their website is finished. So they gave me all their materials, like I want this on the website, I want that, I want this. Obviously, they weren't expecting much out of it because it was $200. So let's be serious. But I was getting to work, and whenever I had a customer like this, I was like fully focused on that customer. I was creating that website usually in 1 week, so half the time, and I was always including at least two new ideas that could help that customer achieve more clients for his or her business. What I mean by this, so let's say they wanted this regular presentation website, like this is like the website that you see everywhere, not a landing page. I'm not talking about landing pages right now. I was building those super regular websites, right? And they had like a contact page, like about me page, our services, stuff like that. And on top of that, I was building them a couple of landing pages, and I was telling them, hey, promote this, because this is going to be way better than if you just promote your website. Because this is a landing page, and I was telling them what a landing page is. I was gradually selling them into this landing page idea, right? So they could become customers of mine one day. And another thing that I was doing for some of the customers, so it was this one customer. He wanted a landing page eventually for an ebook he was selling, and coincidentally, it was actually in ClickFunnels. I didn't use ClickFunnels back then because again, it was one of my very first customers, but he wanted this landing page. I created it for him, like copy, everything like that. But he didn't mention anything else about an abandoned cart sequence, an email sequence for everyone who purchased the product. Nada. He only wanted the landing page. Oh, by the way, he didn't want the fancy graphics. He just showed me a landing page like one of those that you see on the internet. That's only it's only some text and just some images, but no big deal. So what I did for him was I created the renders, like the mock-ups for the product, and I created an abandoned cart email sequence, and let's call it a welcome to my world email. This is how I call it right now. Back then I didn't call it like this. I don't know, like it was something like, hey, get your product now that you purchase this email sequence. It wasn't as refined as it is right now, obviously. So I created all that, right? So when I had to show him the landing page, he was like, oh, nice. So you created all these mock-ups and designs, and hey, dude, you're awesome. And all this for just, I don't know what I asked him for, and it was like pennies for him, obviously, compared to everyone else. And he was telling me like, hey, I hired this dude. He was 10 times more expensive than you, but he did a 10 times worse job than you did. So this is cool. I'm super amazed and all that. And I said, hey, I have this cool stuff for you as well. And I showed him the email sequences. It was like, bro, this is like over delivering at a whole new level. And obviously he gave me 5 stars everywhere. He recommended me to a bunch of his friends, who some of them I still work with today. One of them is actually one of my highest paying customers, and not only that, he's with me for over 2 years now. So over delivering is the easiest and most sure way to get money, fastest, like always. So do not think, hey, he didn't pay me to do the abandoned cart email sequence. He didn't pay you. But if you're doing that, I guarantee you he'll pay you more. And last point, ads for pennies. No, this is not a scam. Usually when exactly like, man, it seems like I've put a lot of thought into this presentation, because I was just talking about how people thought I was a scam, and then I'm showing you this and say, hey, is this a scam? And I'm like, oh dude, like this is on point, right? This is like, damn it, like I'm good at this. So back to our regular show, people. So ads for pennies. What I mean by this, there's this cool way of running ads around your brick and mortar shop, or you can run it for like every single business, online business, coaching business, e-com store, whatever it is, to get some traction. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. I'll just go right now to the business manager. This is an account I don't use that much anymore. I'm just using for like getting some page likes here and there, but that's pretty much it. So I'll click here on create. I'll click on video views. I'll hit continue and it will pop up. Let's make this bigger. Can we, Facebook, please? Thank you, Facebook. Okay, so I'll just give it a campaign name like video views around my juice shop. Again, this works for juice shops, this works for coffee shops, this works for mattresses, this works for coaching, this works for everything under the sun and under the internet umbrella, I guess. But I'm just creating an example here for you, right? This is, you want to leave this as is, it's all good. You go to the ad set level, you set a budget. For this specific example, I'll just leave it at $20 a day. And here's where the magic happens. You would choose a targeting location. Let's say I don't want the whole United States, right? If you run a coaching business and you can work with people remotely, then yeah, definitely you can choose United States, Australia, UK, Ireland. That's what I usually do, because my business can be easily operated remote, and I can talk with people all over the place. They don't have to be in the United States. They don't even have to be close to me, right? So that's what I usually do. But if I were to still own the coffee shop, this is what I would do. Let's say, I'll just pick a street, right? This is, come on. Okay, cool. So I got this, obviously you know your address. I just put something super random in there. Let me see, Ternonai Carling Avenue. Where is this? This is in Canada? Yeah. Oh, okay. Amazing. I don't know, like 5th Avenue. Come on. Amazing. I cannot even find a real address. Caffeine Avenue. This always Wyoming. Oh, Sheridan. Oh my God. 1309 Caffeine Avenue, Sheridan. It's usually better if you just copy paste everything from, look, this one, perfect. If you just copy paste everything from your Google address, something like that. So what happened here? This is a 10-mile radius from this street that I've put here. I chose this street here, and it's a 10-mile radius around it. I can just pick 1 mile up to 50 miles. Let's say like I have like this small coffee shop. Nobody's coming to just grab a coffee from 10 miles away. It's just people living and working in the area. So you would want to choose people living in or recently in this location, because if it's recently in this location, you would usually target also people who work there, right? You can see how many people are in that estimate. You don't really care about this. This is hogwash from Facebook. You don't care about it. Target by the age here. Let's say people drinking coffee. I mean, they all drink coffee, but yeah, coffee is super general. And I could go here and say coffee. Come on, Facebook, you're on camera and this is why you're not behaving. Coffee. And 3,300 people are interested in coffee. If I choose coffee houses, you see it raises it up, or espresso, or cappuccino, or latte. Let's just put some more in there, or Starbucks, because it has to be Starbucks somewhere. So it just raises, right? You can just target by whatever you want, and most likely these are people interested in coffee. But for something that broad like coffee, I wouldn't just niche it down like people interested in coffee, because most of the people are like from the 10,000 people who were actually on this potential reach before I added this interest. I would say 90% of them are interested in coffee or drinking coffee, especially in this age range. So I would just clear this out. But if you're selling bathing suits, you're most likely going to target women, and women who are going on holidays or are interested in holidays, or I don't know, like in sunbathing or sun tanning, whatever. Okay, this is too low, but you get the idea, right? And then that's pretty much what you're going to have to do here. You can call this ad set something like target people near my coffee place, whatever. You can name it whatever you want. This is only for you to see. And then here at the ad level, you would just name your ad, select your Facebook and Instagram account. That's pretty much it. And you would then add a video here. You just create one. I suggest creating one with your smartphone, just walking through a coffee shop, showcasing a bit like the uniqueness of it, like we talked about, and uploading to your computer, and from there you can upload it to Facebook, and you can just write a small text here along the lines of, hey, this coffee shop, or we are happy to serve you coffee daily, 9 a.m. Oh my god, I'm on camera and this is why. 8 p.m. whatever it is, we have, and now here you put, come on, unique, blah blah blah, right? We have this unique stuff, and you can just come to us, address, or just you can put a pin, right? So not a pin, just a pin, and 1309 Coffee Avenue, whatever, 760, blah blah blah. You know, the phone number, all that. You can add your website URL if you want to, so they can also go to the website, and that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. And usually this type of campaign, I mean, it's not always like that, but usually they give you a 1 cent per person that views your video, which is crazy. 1 cent per view. You heard that right. So it means like, if my math's good, like that's 10 people for 10 cents, which means 100 people for $1, which means 1,000 people for $10. So 1,000 people would know your business for $10, which is crazy good. Like, I mean, let me tell you. I mean, actually, I'd love to see if you have any other idea of another medium as good as Facebook and Instagram, because this will run on Facebook and Instagram both, as you can see. Tell me another medium, advertising medium, that you can get this type of like super cheap ads on, right? You can't really. So all this being said, I hope you love this video, guys. I'm looking forward to your comments. I'm looking forward to your suggestions for next videos, and looking forward to making another one for you. Take care and see you next week.